Okay, so if I've heard this right, they had a person testify today, and he's a good guy. He's a vet. He's got wounded in combat. He got hit by an IED, and it sounds like from what Rachel Maddow says. Now, I've been watching Rachel here for I don't know since I think I was 10. It seems like since Barack Obama ran, right? And she said in August that there was a problem going on with the money that was going to Ukraine. And she was making a big deal about it back in August, and she wanted to talk about how that money wasn't going there and Donald Trump was holding it back, blah, blah, blah. And she already knew about the problems that were going on, but she couldn't release them. Then last night, before this guy got on and started his whatever it is that they do in front of Congress today, she had a statement from his lawyers that she was reading that was a pre-statement, sort of a rough draft that only she had and she was releasing. Now today we find out that the person that came forward and said that he heard the conversation about Donald Trump's conversation because he was in the room listening to the conversation. He said that he had reported to two different people the problem with Donald Trump's conversation, but he never took it up to the DNI level. Now, he also tried to alter the statements that were made on the phone because he felt like there was better statements to go into this to fill the facts. While he did try to make the statements different than what he was allowed to have in there, it was also obviously begrudging to him that he wasn't able to fix it the way he wanted to. And that's a big question because he's not the first-hand reporter, yet the Democrats are using him as the first person reporter because it sounds like their star witness is unable to testify because the star witness doesn't have any firsthand knowledge. And so they've got this guy there, Mr. Vittner, and he seems like a really nice guy, but he also seems like he could have a very possible vendetta in relationship to the feelings that he didn't get what he wanted in that room when he thought that he heard something that possibly nobody else heard at all, just him. And so he's come forward now to Congress to state that he heard something that nobody else would do anything about, and he didn't bother to actually be a whistleblower. Okay? You see how important this is? He didn't actually go forward to the DNI and report this. Another person did. He came forward today in full dress regalia. Looked beautiful. I mean, he's slim. He's got to be at least 55, 60 years old. Looking wonderful and all that. Very wonderful. Splendid. But he never bothered to go up the seat of command to make a report appropriately about something that he witnessed that he thought was wrong, yet he had contact with the witness that was the first-hand observer that did go to the DNI that cannot come forward for Adam Schiff because they have a problem with their testimony because they're not a valid witness. So that's a big question here. So is Donald Trump guilty? Well, I mean, that's a question for the court system. The question also there bears in mind, were people inside of this leaking out to Rachel Maddow so she knew beforehand? And could this be a grudge match against Donald Trump? Now, personally, as an American citizen, I watch movies and I like criminals. So Donald Trump is the best criminal in the world for me because I'm a criminal. I like criminals. So I'm an American. I've already told you that in my videos. I'm a felon. I can understand being a criminal. The question is that can you prove him guilty? And I don't think you can prove him guilty. Not beyond a reasonable doubt. And you're not going to impeach him. So you're attacking him and you're wasting a lot of time. But what you're really doing is making yourself look ugly. And that's really sad because you can't get Brennan on. Like right now, he's sitting there talking about how Donald Trump this, that, and the other. But he's the same guy that said he was guilty about something else before. Okay? Guilty's about the proof. And it's a burden. It's a burden that you have to have against somebody. And you can't just declare just because somebody's a good person or they got hit by an IED or he worked with other people that he didn't feel begrudgingly about not getting his way when he wanted to create a new transcript on the basis of what he heard. And that's not legality. That's just one person against another. And you can have the best rank in the world. You can be the best person in the world. If you can be shown to have had a grudge for a specific reason, it could invalidate your statements or your argument, especially if you're the only person corroborating it.